What if I told you that everything you can see, every star, every planet, every single galaxy, is just a tiny, tiny fraction of what's actually out there? For decades, scientists have been on the hunt for what makes up the rest of the universe, and it's one of the biggest mysteries in all of science. Well, we're going to dive in, because a groundbreaking new theory might have just found a clue in the echoes of the Big Bang itself.
Okay, so take a look at this. This is basically the recipe for our entire universe. And you see that tiny little sliver, the 4%? That's everything we call visible matter. That's you, me, the Earth, the sun, all the stars you see in the sky. Everything we've ever seen or touched fits right in there. The other 96%? Well, that's a complete cosmic enigma made up of dark matter and dark energy.
Which, of course, leads to the big question, what is all that other stuff? This is the central puzzle in our cosmic detective story. Now, we're going to put dark energy aside for another day. That's a whole other mystery. Because for years, scientists have been hunting for the main suspect responsible for a huge chunk of that missing mass.
And that brings us right to our invisible suspect, dark matter. It's kind of like the ghost in the cosmic machine, and it makes up a whopping 23% of the universe.
So what exactly is this stuff? Well, it's a type of matter that's completely invisible. It doesn't give off any light, any heat, or any kind of energy that we can pick up with our instruments. The only reason we know it's there is because of its gravity. It's like the invisible scaffolding that holds entire galaxies together. We can see what it does everywhere we look, but we have absolutely no idea what it's actually made of.
And this is where our cosmic detective story takes a really fascinating turn. A brand new clue has emerged, and it didn't come from some giant telescope or a massive particle accelerator. No, it came from the faintest whispers from the very dawn of time. And the source of that whisper? Gravitational waves, actual ripples in the fabric of spacetime. Now, you've probably heard about the loud ones, right? The big, sharp signals we detect when black holes collide. But there's another kind, stochastic waves. Think of it less like a crash and more like a constant, background hum, left over from the incredibly energetic events that happened moments after the Big Bang. So here is where it all comes together, the big idea. A new theory is proposing a direct link between that ancient cosmic hum and our mysterious dark matter. It's suggesting that one might have actually created the other. This radical idea comes from Professor Joachim Kopp and Dr. Azadeh Maleknejad. And as the professor puts it, they're basically asking, what if these gravitational waves, which were literally everywhere in the early universe, could have just transformed? What if their energy was converted into the very dark matter particles we've been looking for all this time? It's a completely new way of thinking about where this stuff came from.
So how in the world could that even happen? Well, the theory lays it out step by step. First, just picture the baby universe, completely filled with a sea of these gravitational waves. Second, the theory says the immense energy of these waves was converted into brand new particles that didn't have any mass. Then, step 3, as the universe expanded and started to cool, these particles somehow acquired mass. And finally, step 4, they become the dark matter that we see holding the universe together today. I mean, think about that. Energy from a ripple in space-time becoming physical matter. It's an absolutely stunning idea.
What this really means is that we might be looking at a totally new production line for dark matter, a kind of cosmic factory we never knew existed, one that turns the energy of gravitational waves into matter. And what's wild is that this is a mechanism that nobody had ever really investigated before.
But of course, like any great detective story, a compelling theory is just the beginning. The investigation is far from over. So the next phase is all about gathering evidence to see if this incredible idea actually holds water. So what's next on the to-do list? Well, the team is going to run powerful computer simulations and crunch a whole lot of numbers to make their predictions more precise. They're also going to look for other effects these ancient waves might have left behind. And get this, they're even going to investigate if this exact same process could help solve another huge puzzle in physics, why there's so much more matter than antimatter in the universe. You know, for so long, we've thought of the echoes of the Big Bang as just leftover background noise. But if this theory is right, if waves can actually create matter, that completely changes how we think about the dawn of our universe. It really makes you wonder what other profound, unbelievable secrets are still hiding out there, just waiting in those ancient whispers from the beginning of time.